Jack, it's another Mayor's Hour, and we are here at one of our favorite places. Certainly some place that my daughters love for a lot of reasons, and you're going to hear about one of them in a little bit. But we're here at Busch Gardens for another Mayor's Hour. Pretty cool, Jack. Pretty cool.
This is a spectacular asset for the Tampa Bay area. And of course was one of the earliest major attractions in the whole state of Florida going back to the 1950s, and it has grown. It has gotten so much bigger and more complex and more beautiful. This area here, for instance, is relatively new. And then, of course, the addition of all the roller coasters going back to the, I guess, the would have been the 90s and late 80s when they sort of transitioned from being just the Africa theme to the roller coasters and everything. But I love it. And I did a television show out here every day at noon 30, we called it, the Harrison Company show from here, and got to see some old people coming back.
You know something, as a matter of fact, I remember being on your show when you were broadcasting from here. I think we gave you a proclamation when you were broadcasting from here.
I remember doing stuff with you guys all the time and everything when you were working with Mayor Sandy Friedman back in the day.
Yep. Well, this is one of Tampa's great economic engines. It is a wonderful, wonderful place, not only for the animals and the exhibits that they got here, but all of the rides, all the educational components of it. We're going to hear from a number of people associated with Busch Gardens. They've got an exciting exhibit coming up for the holidays that we're going to talk about. And most importantly, and this will be an emotional moment for me, I will be reunited with my son, who I haven't seen in a long time. They took him from me at birth.
Pardon me.
And if you see a tear coming down my eyes, it will be because this is a special moment for the Buckhorn family. My son Bolingo is here, and I want you to meet him in a little while. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is going to be a great segment, Jack. Not only do we get a chance to see the gorillas, but we get to learn a little bit about what goes on here. We have with us today Jay Stutz, who's the assistant curator here at Busch Gardens. And you guys are going to have to bear with me because I'm going to try and get through this as best I can.
This is very emotional.
Are you going to get emotional?
This is an emotional moment for me. A number of years ago, my son was taken from me. It wasn't taken by the state, but it was taken from me in a rather traumatic experience. You see, my son...
I can get him over here.
Is out there.
Bolingo!
There he is.
There he comes.
See, as many of you know, I have two daughters. But I also have a son. His name is Bolingo. He's a hairy little fella. And my wife, who is a OBGYN, delivered Bolingo here at Busch Gardens, did a C-section, and they took him from me. I wanted to bring him home to our family and nurture him like I've never had a son before. I got two daughters. I was going to name him Robert Francis Buckhorn Jr., or the third, but they took him from me. And so I'm here today. I haven't seen my son in many years.
You want to toss him some food?
Yeah, I would.
Here, grab us a little handful of these dried cranberries and toss them right out there to him.
I've been paying child support for years.
This is really where Bolingo needs to be, though, right?
Well,
with this nice little family here.
I got a big backyard.
Davis Islands, that would fit in well on Davis
Yeah,
Islands.
they could go to the Academy of the Holy Names, just like my daughters.
Well, he turns 7 pretty soon, and that means he's in his early teenage years, so he's
I don't
quite
want
a handful.
I don't want him. Y'all can have him. Bolingo, it's Papa.
Oh, he's cheering. He's cheering.
Wow.
He's applauding.
He recognized me.
I
Did you
think
see
he
the
did.
tear coming down his eyes?
Right on cue.
Balingo. Hey, buddy.
A little
There
hairy,
you go.
a little hairy tear.
Why don't you toss out some carrots too? Grab a whole handful of carrots there and just toss them out there.
No, don't hit my boy.
Here, guys,
Balingo.
more carrots.
There you
Carrots
go.
on the way.
Now, as I told you, his birthday's coming up, and so one of the things that we're really good at here
I
is
knew that,
animal
by the way.
enrichment.
I knew that was his birthday.
And so he can't get these yet, but we make him birthday presents and we put them all over the habitat. We consider it animal enrichment because what we really want to do is challenge these guys to really think and explore their environment and get the food that's packed in there. But what we do have is something similar, which is just some hay stuffed in some cardboard tubes. So go ahead and toss a couple of those out there.
Hey, Balingo.
He has to wait for his birthday presents.
Hey, buddy. Ready? Ready?
Yeah, go ahead and toss it right in front of him.
Go deep, Balingo.
And what they'll do is they'll pull the hay out and he'll get some of the fruit that's inside there.
Oh, there's fruit in there too, huh?
Yeah.
And my son is a vegan. I don't get it.
And
So you
he's
see how
going
Balingo
right in.
collects them all.
He's
He's
going
quite
right
the,
in for it. Look at that.
He eats like you do.
He does a West Virginia kind of approach to food.
On a far more serious note, I can wipe the tears off my eyes. Jay, tell us what goes on. This really is an amazing exhibit. And
Oh, it's wonderful. Very naturalistic as well. And that's one of the things that we try to portray to our guests is these serve as ambassadors to their wild counterparts. These are western lowland gorillas, and they're native to the central areas of Africa, Angola, Cameroon, Gabon, and also the Republic of Congo. But they're critically endangered because of the humans destroy their habitat. They log, they mine. They also kill these animals for bushmeat. So when people come and they see them in their natural environment, their natural setting, it allows us to talk to them about conservation and about the things that they can do to help these animals in the wild so they'll be around for generations to come and see, either in zoological facilities or in the wild.
Yeah, this might be the only place that you can actually preserve them because, as you point out, they might become extinct in Central Africa.
Yeah, that's true. And Busch Gardens is a global leader when it comes to animal welfare and care and veterinary care, but also research. Our research of our animals here will actually help us protect them in the wild when we study them. One of the things we're studying is the heart problems in the males. Male gorillas tend to die a lot from heart problems.
that's from the women gorillas in there.
They do keep you running.
Yeah, they wear you out. I mean,
Yeah, their society is a lot like ours where women run things usually. The females do.
certainly in my house.
Well, they are very smart. I mean, I noticed when you first came out here, we were going to look for his son,
Yeah.
Balinga,
Yeah.
and
Balingo, yep.
and you
It's
yelled for
swinging
Balingo,
for
and he
love.
came running
No,
right
he
around
saw
there
me.
like,
He doesn't care about him. He knows his dad's here.
the Papa's here.
He
Papa's
saw you
here.
reach for food. He's like, oh, I'm going to go get some of
I'm
that.
the baby daddy.
But they are very intelligent, and believe it or not, if he showed up tomorrow and came out here without me, without food, Balingo would probably come over and recognize him and say, Dad, no, but
He
It's
would
Pop.
say dad, yeah.
It's Pop. And how did you get into this business? What's your background?
Well, I've always loved animals, but I never thought I could make a career out of it. But I studied psychology in school,
You're
and when I got out,
you're from the state of Maine,
Yes,
right? Which
yes,
doesn't have
I'm
a
a
lot
far
of
way away.
in
natural
Maine,
gorillas
yeah.
up there.
well, one of the best things is the climate here. These guys are so active now. It's so awesome to watch them when it's nice and cool like this. But out of college, I started working with humans and didn't like it so much. So I've really grown accustomed, and all the training staff here is just so great when it comes to building relationships with the animals that allow us to do what we do here.
Now this obviously is the gorilla area where we can see these lowland gorillas and everything.
Yep.
And having done that show out here for so many years, I became fairly familiar with Busch Gardens, but I don't think any of this
Keep
was
throwing,
here.
keep throwing.
Yeah, keep them happy. Keep them happy. But this is relatively new. I mean, it's not part of the old Busch Gardens, way back.
Correct. This facility, Mayambe Reserve, which houses our gorillas and our chimpanzees, was built in 1992, and at the time, this was state of the art. The
Yeah.
glass exhibit combined where the people can get so up close through the glass with this open air area is kind of led the way.
Yeah.
In other zoos building very similar exhibits. And it's something we're really proud of, is really kind of being ahead in the technology of our exhibits. And the most important thing is really connecting our guests with the animals through our exhibits and also our rides.
Yeah.
Which I think you're going to get a taste of a little
Oh,
bit.
I will.
Yeah.
He's coming too.
You will.
So how long do they live?
Gorillas, the average life expectancy is right around 50 years. In under human care, they can live longer, again, because we have just an incredible veterinary care program here. A lot of the stuff that we need to take care of them, they're trained to do. You ask about their intelligence, they can come up to the mesh and interact with our trainers. Trainers can ask them to present their ear, we can get a temperature. Present their belly, and we can do ultrasound. And that's one thing that helped us with Bolingo's birth is his mom was trained to present her belly so we could check up on the baby from time to time.
And then his wife gave birth through the C-section.
Yeah. And we make sure that we keep those relationships because it makes sure that we take care of them best possible way. And your wife had been delivering babies, human babies like that for years, so we brought in that expertise to make sure that we set this up to succeed.
You do know that Bolingo's registered to vote.
Oh, yeah? Is that
It just comes with the family, you know. It's just part
you
of
keep feeding them, and you're good.
But this is only a small part of the animal kingdom here at Busch Gardens, which, of course, having been out on the belt before and places like that, it really is amazing what
Very
you've done
diverse animal collection from all over the world. And one of the things we're really proud of as well is our breeding. Busch Gardens and SeaWorld Parks breed over 200 species of endangered, threatened, or at-risk animals at the parks. Again, to make sure we're preserving these animals for generations to come.
Jack, you know what's fascinating? My wife told me, she said, I mean, she's done thousands of C-sections. She said when she cut into the belly of the gorilla, it was no different than any other, you know, female that she's ever done before. The muscles were a lot thicker, but she said once she got in the belly and got the baby out, it was no different than any other C-section she's ever done.
That's good that it was that simple, because we don't want to see that happen and go, what's that? So,
but it is. The amazing thing is, like your wife had pointed out, they are so human-like, like little kids, and that's what struck me when you yelled at them like you would yell at a teen or a kid. Hey, come in here! I got something for you to do. Or,
yeah,
you know,
very
whatever.
smart. They do understand their own name, and we also have cues or SDs for the behaviors that we ask for. So I can stand there and say ear, and the gorilla will understand to present an ear, or a finger, and they'll present a finger.
They'll give you the finger?
Hope not that one.
That's something
but we
to
also
learn in
use
politics.
I'm used to that.
We also use hand cues as well to kind of train them to help in their own care.
What does Bolingo mean, by the way?
It's Swahili for love, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that's pretty good. But
yeah.
I was just trying to figure out, we need to find out in Swahili what son of Bob is. Ultimately, we can give him a new name.
It's the love that a son has for his father.
No, that's got to be it.
Right, buddy? Right, Bolingo?
But about what percentage, I mean, just a general area, is this reserve here, where we've got the lowland gorillas and everything, compared to all of the animal areas here? Because for people who are new to Busch Gardens, Busch has, over the years, over the past about 3 decades, incorporated the roller coasters, and they blended it so well together. The animals, the belt, the African experience and everything with the roller coaster.
And again, that's what we do here. We combine thrills of our rides and our attractions with up-close animal experiences. Cheetah Hunt is a great example. Brand new, just opened. It mimics a cheetah chasing prey, agile, fast. And then right across is the Cheetah Run, which is the exhibit where guests can see cheetahs run. And it's just an incredible philosophy that we have here. And we're able to present that to the guests. And we hope that they leave with not only the memories of a great family outing, but also a little bit of education about how they can help these animals in the wild.
And a few T-shirts.
Yeah.
And it must be something.
You need one with big Bolingo face.
I need
right
Bolingo.
Oh, you got to have a Bolingo
Free
face on
Bolingo.
it. Free Bolingo. He wants to get out and vote or do something.
I want to get him out and, you know, take him for a walk in the park. You know, things that dads do.
He can campaign for you in
I
a couple
will.
of years.
Yeah,
Go
but
door
that's
to
one of
door.
the challenges. It's one of the challenges with these smart animals is the trainers have to be very creative in keeping them engaged in the habitat, getting them their exercise, moving them around, because we don't want them to get bored. And that's really the key of our enrichment program, like the tubes that you threw out. But we have all these different types of devices that they take, that like almost like puzzles. They have to figure out how to get the food out, because it is. We want to make sure that they never get bored.
The other thing here is the environment here, which is really incredible. Being in Central Florida now, and all of a sudden coming through here, when you get into this, all of a sudden you get the feeling that you are in some place like Central Florida. Wait, there.
We want to keep them here.
Hey, Bolingo.
Yeah,
No, exactly. The waterfalls, the lush landscape.
Yeah,
we want people to feel like we put them in Africa.
Yeah.
Give them that sense of stepping out of Tampa area and plop right down in Africa.
And you've been able to do that with all the animal environments. I know that, like the veldt area where the giraffes and all of these other animals, where you go out there and it looks like it does out in
Exactly.
Africa.
Huge expanse with a ton of hoofstock, giraffes, rhinos, zebra, and people, if they're interested, can get in the back of a safari truck and go out and feed them, which gets them that up-close and personal experience.
You never want to have a giraffe lick your head.
No.
Never or always? Come on.
Yeah, well,
now, I'll let you do that.
This way, you don't need any gel anymore.
I'll do the roller coaster. You get the head licking thing.
I'll pass on that. Goes back to my days doing the show at Busch Gardens. Hey, lick from a giraffe. You can't beat it. But yeah, from the standpoint of what does it take to bring them here? How do you get them over there and bring them here into this urban environment?
All of our gorillas here, most of them came from another facility. So at this point, we're breeding from within zoos across the world and across the country. So we no longer have to take them out of the wild. And that's why we're so happy for Bolingo, because he was the first baby born here at Busch Gardens. We've been open for so long. And so, and that is kind of what all the zoos are taking part in, is what's called the SSP, which is the Species Survival Program. And we share we make sure we make good genetic matches of our animals, so we have good genetics in our populations of all sorts of animals. We really want to focus on the endangered ones, like western lowland gorillas, to make sure that the genes are really healthy as well.
Okay, we got to wrap this segment up, but I really do have one serious question for you. Can he come home for Thanksgiving dinner?
We'll work on it.
Put an ankle bracelet on him.
Are you going to have a vegetarian dinner like this?
Not a chance.
No way.
Bolingo. All right. Look at him.
He's like, you're not giving me enough attention.
There you go, big boy.
Different enough, for sure. Incidentally, one other quick thing. How different are these from, say, the monkeys?
That's a good question. Monkeys and apes are all primates.
Yeah.
Easiest way to tell them apart is a tail. Apes, no tail. Monkeys, tail.
That's easy enough.
Keep it simple.
And just out of curiosity, I remember when I was in Vietnam, one of the things, the way they catch monkeys, and they ate monkey meat over there big time because there are tons of monkeys in the jungles, but they would take a bamboo section, which is kind of like a tin can, and cut a little hole in it, and put some food in it, and be big enough for the monkeys to get their hand down in it, and they'd grab the food,
but they can't get out.
But they couldn't get their hand out, and they wouldn't let go of the food. They would stay there, and then somebody would come and the inevitable
and unfortunately, there are still people that kill and eat these animals. It's called the bushmeat trade, and that's, again, one of the things that makes them very vulnerable in the wild is being killed for their meat. And so the SeaWorld Busch Gardens Conservation Fund does a lot to try to educate and provide them with other food products, so they don't go out and kill the natural wildlife that's farm raised, and that protects these animals in the wild, because it's detrimental to their populations if they see them as a food source.
Well, Jay, we appreciate it. Thanks so much. Keep
My
up the good
pleasure.
work. Take care of my boy.
You're welcome anytime.
I do have visitation rights. The judge said I can come and see him. We're going to be right back. Jack and I are going to ride a roller coaster. You're going to watch Jack throw up.
I think there's
see you in a bit.
eye, not a Jack there.
Welcome back for another segment of the Buckhorn Family Reunion Show. I'm still a little traumatized by seeing my son Bolingo.
I know, you've just been a puddle.
I have. It's just an emotional roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
There we
Whoa,
go.
What a time.
Yeah, And on that transition, we are here with Mark Rose, who is the Vice President for Design and Engineering here at Busch Gardens. He is the guy that makes the things that Jack Harris is petrified of, which are right behind me.
That thing back there.
The roller coasters. Busch Gardens is known for its roller coasters. I ride them as often as I possibly can. I love these roller coasters. So does Jack. He's going to be on one momentarily, although it may never leave the ground, but he'll sit in one. But Mark, thanks for joining us on the Mayor's Hour.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You and I have known each other for a long time. This is a An amazing facility, an
Yeah.
amazing economic engine for Tampa. You've been involved in it for how many years?
Over 30.
30 years.
That's amazing.
30
And,
years.
he was out here when I was here.
Yep.
And I remember when the era of roller coasters began, and that was the amazing thing that Busch Gardens, which was known as the animal thing, the Africa thing, all of that kind of thing, and of course was one of the earliest attractions in the whole state of Florida, and was a major, major attraction in the whole state of Florida, obviously still is, but that transition that you brought about with the roller coasters and then blending the things together, the animals and the roller coasters, it was an unlikely pair, but it's worked out beautifully, apparently.
It has.
So how many coasters do you have out here?
We have 8 roller coasters.
We can do all 8.
Oh no, oh no.
You'll have to get to the front of the line to make them all.
Well, I'm the mayor, so that,
You can do
you
it.
can't
You
pull
can
that
get in front of the
card.
line.
You can pull that card.
Do you enjoy riding those things?
Oh, I love them. I'm always the first person to ride them.
You're kidding. What's the one you like best?
Cheetah Hunt's unbelievable.
The latest.
Yeah.
So you and I need to ride that.
No,
one.
no,
He'll hold your hand.
no.
He'll hold your hand aside.
I'll
walk
hold
you
your
through
all's.
it.
I'll hold your
walk
all's
you through it.
purses down here on the ground or whatever it is that you do.
You know, and when you scream like a little girl, he won't tell, but we're going to be recording it.
I know that ain't happening. That ain't. You need somebody on the ground here for play-by-play. That would be me.
So Cheetah Hunt is right behind us, right?
It is. It is. Our newest roller coaster, 2010.
And I was here when that opened. I actually was one of the first ones to ride it. That was a great
So
ride.
you've already ridden that thing.
Oh,
that
we
thing.
put him on the
boy.
first train, the first seats.
Yeah.
He and his family.
Man.
Yeah, and what was scary is it had stopped working right before I'd got on there. So I'm like, oh boy, I'm the first one going down this thing. And it was great. It was an amazing experience. Now, what's the wooden roller coasters all the way to the back,
It's
right?
Quasi, yes.
And then how about that one over there? The Jack's
That's
gonna run?
Shikra.
Shikra. Now,
Shikra.
Shikra's been around for a long time.
2005.
What were the ones, I remember I was telling him about during the course of doing the show, the old Harrison Company show out here, which we did through most of the 90s. We opened, I think, at least 3 of them. And we brought in Michael Richards to open one.
That was Kumba. That was in
Kumba.
1993.
Yeah, and
He
Kumba
wore his leather
had
hat.
that little hat on and
That's right.
everything. And then we brought in Drew
Mon-
Carey was in here to open
for
one of
Montu in 1996.
Montu.
We're
okay.
dating ourselves here.
And then who was the third one? We also brought in somebody else to open a third one that was involved with the show. We got on the show. It was one of the stars, one of the lesser stars, not as big as Drew Carey or Michael Richards at the time,
Right.
but
I don't remember who opened Gwazi in 99.
yeah, it was Quasi. That was
Quasi.
the one, I think.
I think they were trying to get Hulk Hogan to open that one. They
Yeah.
were going to wrestle in front of it or something.
But I've forgotten who the other was, but I remember going in, and I was much younger then, and I could handle it, but barely. I hated it. Hated it. It was horrible.
Well, you used to fly in a
And
helicopter.
You open them. Well, I flew helicopters. I've flown twice in jet planes and, on all their maneuvers, but it ain't like that, believe me.
So what goes into making a roller coaster?
These projects usually take 3 years.
Wow.
We probably spend a year and a half just designing them, and then about a year and a half to build them, manufacture them, test them.
And they have to fit in. That's the amazing thing, that Busch Gardens is fitted into such a small area, and yet you all are able to put so many things into it. The fact that you've got 8 roller coasters in here, and at the same time compatible with all the animals and the veldt and everything else you've done.
And
That's-
right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, and right.
The surrounding
in
neighborhoods.
this urban area.
We pride ourselves in fitting them in and making them look like they've been there forever. So it looks like this wasn't added 2 years ago. This has been designed since 1959, and it was always meant to be there. That's the secret. If we can do that, then we've succeeded.
So are there engineers that specialize in roller coasters and roller coaster design?
There are roller coaster companies, so everyone employed by those companies, including this one, which was made by a German company, Intamin, and B&M built the other 3 big ones. They were from Switzerland, so all of their engineers are just doing roller coasters.
There are roller coaster enthusiasts all over the country, and these people are really
All over the
serious.
world.
Yeah, actually around the world, and they even have magazines. They have I've forgotten what it's called, but I've read where from time to time they rate roller coasters. In fact, they do it fairly routinely. But this has to be a heaven for these people, these enthusiasts, when they can come here and hit so many in one concentrated area.
We've had 2 coasters, Kumba and Montu, that were rated the #1 roller coaster
I remember
in
that.
the world.
In the world.
In the world.
By the Enthusiast magazine.
That's right.
When
So
they did that.
Are there parks that build bigger and bigger roller coasters with more severe drops?
There are, and we've never gotten into that. We've never tried to have the tallest roller coaster, the fastest roller coaster, the longest roller coaster, but we've tried to make it the best roller coaster. And if you get on it, 2 ingredients, Jack. If you're a little bit afraid of it, if you're under SheiKra and you're looking at 200 feet straight down, you go, I'm not so sure I want to ride that. But if you get on them one time, lesson number 2, you'll get off it and want to ride it again.
Oh, yeah.
And if we've done
After
those
you
2
clean
things,
up your mess.
if we do that, we've been successful. That's a world-class roller coaster.
All right,
right
just don't
there.
make me sit behind him when he starts.
Okay. Okay.
Did you eat lunch today yet? Okay.
I ain't going to be there. I'm going to be doing play-by-play on the ground for you guys up there. But if you look around now, are you saying at some point, okay, we're working on the next one, number 9
already are.
coming up? You're already working on it.
Oh yeah.
It's a secret, I'm sure. Yeah.
We're always planning 5 years out.
And where are you going to put it? I mean, I look around and everything is so compact. Everything just seems
We
to
always have a way
always
of
fit
fitting it
together.
in.
They do. They do. They can squeeze something in.
Yeah, because, yeah, go ahead.
We'll be okay.
Yeah,
We'll fit it in.
where we're doing this from, for those who have been around for a long time, a little bit of nostalgia here. This goes back to the early days of Busch Gardens in what used to be the old Swiss house. And you remember that. It was
Absolutely.
still functional as the old Swiss house back in the old days, which was a great little restaurant. That's a train, by the way. That one I can ride.
Yeah.
That I can
That's
do.
about your speed.
I love that. It's a little fast, but I think I can handle
Well,
it.
don't worry. You and all the other 4-year-olds on it will have a great time.
But this used to be quite the place, and for those who aren't aware, this was here, and then there was a brewery. Where would it be? About right there, I think.
Yep.
Out in that area that Budweiser used to brew
Yeah,
beer
I remember
here.
that. Not that I ever partook of it.
No,
but-
I never did anything like that.
Well, I found an old magazine that rated the Swiss House the #4 restaurant in Florida at the time.
It was spectacular.
It was.
And,
It was.
and they had events out here and things like that. I remember having dinner one night with Wolfman Jack, for those who can remember the old disc jockey and everything, but he was here for some kind of promotion, and it was just a fabulous thing, and yet you've incorporated it in, still a restaurant and everything going on here as well. But it just amazes me how you blend these together. I mean, looking past all of this greenery and thinking, let's see, there are gorillas and apes right there, and now we're onto this brand new looking thing here. I just wonder where you're going to come up with number 9, where you're going to stick number 9.
We figured it out.
But when you plan on number 9, I would guess that you're going to try to make it just a little bit more thrilling than number 8, the cheetah ride.
Our criteria is to make it world class. So whatever it takes to make it world class, we'll do that. But this one was interesting because we didn't have a big drop. All of our roller coasters had a big hill that you would drop to the bottom. This one actually used magnets to propel the roller coaster. So there are other technologies out there that make them unbelievable.
Well, now when you say magnets, like some current rapid transit things, I guess, are using those kind of magnets.
That's similar.
So the old way was like the chain thing or whatever it is, where it
We would drag you up to the top of the hill like we do on Kumba, Montu, Gwazi, SheiKra, and then just roll
gravity
over the
takes
top
over.
and gravity takes you to the bottom.
and screaming down. How fast do those things go? The fastest one you have, at what speed do you achieve coming down there?
SheiKra's approaching 70 miles an hour. Cheetah Hunt behind us goes to 60 miles an hour.
See, that's a piece of cake. Come on.
60 that way I can do, 60 that way I can't do.
You drove that fast on your way out here today.
I know
Jack.
I will probably do it on the interstate. Anybody, any cops
Yeah.
watching?
I'll hold your hand. It's okay, Jack.
I'm play-by-play here, but it is amazing though. But when you all first decided, okay, we're going to build a roller coaster, was that pretty much what it was, Mark, back then? And you said we're going to put a roller coaster just to add variety?
Well, we struggled with that for several years before we built Kumba. We already had the Python and the Scorpion, but those were smaller roller coasters. So we wanted a bigger roller coaster that would really put us on the map. And when we finally put in Kumba, it did put us on the map. There were actually surveys at the border for international guests coming into Florida. What are you here in Florida for? And at that time they said the beaches the theme parks in Orlando and Kumba. That was number 3. They named Kumba by name. They came internationally to ride that.
Well, I remember the Python, I think, was the first one, right?
It was.
And I remember you had a big press day when that thing opened, and that was exciting. I mean,
it was.
For those of us around here who hadn't been on roller coasters or
what year
anything
was that?
like that.
That was 1978.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't even here then.
No, you weren't here, and they had a big press thing, and everybody came out that day and got all excited about the Python. And at that time, it just didn't seem that you were going to evolve into a roller coaster theme park. Yeah. But obviously, the evolution took place. Were you here then for that one?
No, I came in '82.
Okay,
so I was here 4 years later.
Came about the same time he came here.
Well, we can't wait to see what the 9th one is. Jack and I will be ready.
And where it'll go? Yeah, Jack and I'll be ready.
Well, we'll be on that first train.
Yeah.
This time I won't be the first person. I'll be the first person with Jack Harris.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's an invite.
Well, Mark, we're about to go ride Cheetah. I can't wait. I haven't been on it in a year. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again for doing all you do out here. It's a great
I can't wait to see you guys coming right down there from here. What a great view this is.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And he's coming with us?
No way. No way.
We'll be right back. Too cool.
Here. Gee, I was hoping, but he got my seat. Darn it.
He's scared to death. He won't go on it.
Man, you are crazy. You're all crazy.
Here we go. It was great. Got my hair mussed up.
His hair messed up.
All right, welcome back. We just wrapped up SheiKra. Those two screaming little girls behind me, one of them was not Jack Harris, but they do work for the city of Tampa, and we had a great time. We got some great pictures out of it.
I found out what SheiKra stands for. It's Swahili.
When Sheik was it? No,
SheiKra.
Cheetah. It was, SheiKra, but that was Cheetah
That's
Run.
another one over there. Yeah, SheiKra.
You won't do that one either.
SheiKra is, no, I certainly won't. It's Swahili for sheik, which means return and Ra, which means lunch.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Return
return your
lunch.
lunch, yeah. He's been working on that all day. But now we're here with the brains of the operation, the guy that actually runs Busch Gardens. He's been a great corporate citizen to the community. Busch Gardens really does have a huge economic impact, but they also are very, very charitable in their donations, and they are involved in the community in many, many, many ways. The president of Busch Gardens, Jim Dean, is here with us today. Jim, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Glad to have you here today.
Yeah, we're excited too. This beats going to city council, I can tell you that much. My stomach feels about the same now. Tell us what we have here. Tell us, we're standing in snow.
Yes.
It's Florida, right?
And it's chilly in here, I got to tell
Yeah, it is chilly. And so what is happening here? What is this all about?
Well, other than about 4.5 feet of snow here, which is a little unusual for Tampa Bay, we're getting ready for Christmastown. So Busch Gardens is really transitioning to a whole new event for the Tampa Bay area that I think families are going to embrace, and we hope become a tradition for this region.
Is that why this guy's here?
That is absolutely why that
Who
guy's
is that?
here.
Is that Frosty?
That's Frosty
There
the
we go.
Snowman.
Frosty.
Frosty's part of Christmastown.
You want to ride cheetah hunt with me?
Christmastown opens November 30th here at Busch Gardens. We couldn't be more excited about it.
So this is the first time you've done it here, right?
Yes, it is. It'll be our first time to have Christmastown here. We've had Christmas since 1959 here when Busch Gardens opened. So we've had 53 years of a great tradition and heritage. But this is our first year of Christmastown, which will open the park at night and really entertain families of all ages.
This is a sensational idea because I don't know anything like it around here. I know one of the hotels has something over in Central Florida where you walk through kind of a winter thing, but nothing quite as proactive as this is.
That's right, Jack, and we're excited about that. It's there's going to be a lot of live music, our first-class entertainment, and certainly we'll have some rides open, and we have a sing-along train for Christmastown, not to mention Santa and Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus is preparing a big feast for us, so we have a Christmas village with dozens of shops for dining and merchandise. So as we know, Christmas is a shopping and dining family experience, and we couldn't be happier to bring it to Tampa Bay.
So Jimmy, what's going to take place here in this facility?
This is our snow play area. So hopefully a snowball fight doesn't break out in a few minutes here.
Wow.
I'm watching, I'm watching you. I'm watching.
Keep an eye on this guy. You never know.
But it's our snow play area, so we're going to have families in here playing in the snow like they've never done before at Tampa, for sure.
Now, is my son Bolingo coming out?
Bolingo might not be here for the snow play area.
I don't think
I understand you saw Bolingo earlier.
Yeah, it was an emotional experience.
Oh, it was. We were all teary-eyed over there. How did this come about? How did this evolve from the beginning? At what point does somebody say, why don't we do a Christmas experience in what used to be the dark continent and is now the roller coaster haven for all the world?
Absolutely. You know, we listen to our guests, and we, as you know, we entertain millions of people a year here at Busch Gardens and Adventure Island across the street, and they've told us they want a Christmas event, and we've been planning this for years. This didn't happen last month, so this has been in development for a number of years, and for the last 6 or 7 months, we've been executing this plan. So we couldn't be more excited about November 30th.
I think it's going to become a huge tradition in the Bay Area.
We hope
People
so.
wanting to come out here and get the experience of up north and be around the snow and really get the feeling of Christmas, because that's the only complaint you get about living in Florida. Well, it doesn't feel like Christmas. Well,
That's
it does
right.
out there. One little area.
We're going to have over 1 million lights throughout all of Busch Gardens, so it's really going to transition the entire daytime park into a nighttime wonderland.
Good.
So we're pretty excited about that.
Tico will appreciate that.
Tico will appreciate that.
Jimmy, as we walked through the park, I heard a multitude of different languages.
Yes, you did.
Busch Gardens really is a destination for our international guests that are coming here. You and I were talking, a lot of Brazilians are coming here. You could hear the Portuguese as you walk through the...
That's right.
So tell me, who is your biggest population of international guests?
Well, you know, we entertain Canadians as well,
Right.
and a lot of folks from Western Europe and the UK, and you'll hear a lot of British accents in the park this time of year as well.
The guy that was sitting next to me was some Scottish guy.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and a lot of Brazilians, and the roller coasters and our thrill rides are very popular with the Brazilians.
Interesting. So have you seen, with the economy doing as well in Brazil as it has, a big influx?
Absolutely. As you know, I'm the incoming chair for Tampa Bay and Company, and we talk a lot about travel from South America, and our business is up significantly this year, and I know the hoteliers in town are enjoying that visitation as well.
You know, this was one reason that I was hoping, along with a whole lot of people, that they would get that bullet train going, because you got all those people coming to Central Florida, and they would have said, hey, we got to go over to Busch Gardens. They could run over for a day, maybe spend a couple of days here, maybe go to the beaches, certainly come to Busch Gardens and get back on, and that in itself would be like a thrill ride for being the first in America. Maybe someday it'll still happen, but that'll be a bonanza for you all.
It really will be, Jack. And Christmastown may be a big thing for our international visitors, but we really are targeting the locals. And there's a big local loyalty base here for Busch Gardens and Adventure Island, and we hope to give them what they're looking for at Christmastown.
And the way it has grown and evolved over the years, and we talked about this earlier, that when I first came here in 1970, it was the dark continent pretty much, and it had just grown from the bird show really, and was beginning to evolve into a large theme park zoological experience for the most part.
We've really transitioned the park over the years, and under our new ownership with Blackstone now, we've invested a lot of money in Busch Gardens. Last year we opened Cheetah Hunt and the Cheetah Habitat, which was a big attraction for us and very successful. And we're working on future attractions for 14 and 15 now.
Now, you can tell us. I mean, we won't tell a soul.
No, nobody.
No one's listening.
No cameras, no microphones.
No one's watching.
Please, out there, if you'd close your ears just a second.
We keep good secrets. Don't worry about these cameras. You know.
We've got great plans for the future though, and I couldn't be more excited about the team here, and what we have in store for the coming years.
How was the RNC for you guys?
You know, the RNC, if you recall, there was a storm lurking in the Gulf, which weather's has a big impact on our business, and that hurt us some. So it's hard to isolate the RNC. We couldn't have been happier to showcase Tampa Bay and everything that's so great about our region. But that particular week was a tough weather week, and we didn't do so well that week.
Did you host any of the delegations out here?
We had planned to host the delegations. Our big delegation was the Florida delegation, which we ended up being canceled. It was Monday night, and Monday night was canceled, as you know, so we didn't end up hosting the Florida delegation after all.
Yeah, the
buses didn't show up for them either.
That's right.
Yeah, they had a few problems. It was a bad week for Florida.
That's what they get for having that early primary thing.
For sure. Yeah, but looking ahead, again, it always just blows my mind the kind of blend that you brought about here. I mean, because at one time, I thought when the roller coasters began to become prevalent, and this is about the time we're doing the show out there, I thought, well, they're going to be moving away from the animals and all of that kind of thing. And yet that hadn't happened at all. The animal experience has gotten even bigger and better.
That's right, Jack. I bet you never thought you'd be standing in 4.5 feet of snow in
the
middle of Busch Gardens either.
And freezing. It's getting cold in here. We got all these people outside here. It's cold in here.
We focus on what we call the trilogy of what makes this place so great, and that's our entertainment and the shows that we have, along with our animals and the animal habitats and how we present our animals, and certainly our world-class rides.
Jimmy, how many employees do you have at Busch Gardens?
You know, we're seasonal. At peak season, we have about 5,000 team members. Wow. We hire almost 1,000 team members for Hall-O-Scream, which we just concluded a few weeks ago. Right. So that was a great event for us as well.
I've been to that one. That's phenomenal. I mean, that is a great event. I wasn't there this year, but a couple of years ago, several years ago.
Absolutely.
What a great event
it is so popular with the locals as well, Hall-O-Scream.
Yeah, that's one of the things you got to do when Halloween comes around. You got to go to Busch Gardens, and there are jillion people out here that they only come once a year. It's the Hall-O-Scream.
Jack,
maybe they'll start coming also at Christmas time.
People. We had hoped for a jillion people, but maybe next year.
Yeah, and there are so many people who really think of it as this is right in our neighborhood, and they don't get around to it until somebody comes to visit. And somebody comes down here to visit, and they say, we want to go to Busch Gardens. Oh, yeah, we'll take you to Busch Gardens. Like, we go there all the time. When was the last time? Oh, about 5 years ago. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, when you have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, you're here all the time.
You make it more often.
We come out here a lot.
We have a huge base of loyalists in our community, and hundreds of thousands of people that have passes to Busch Gardens. And we count on visiting family and friends to come out and enjoy the park, and it really works well for us.
Yeah, I remember when we did the show out here, there would be people that came would be there every week. Some people every Tuesday would show up because they had the year-round passes.
And you had a show
here. Come right in. Yeah, and they would just come in. We'd see the same people out there week after week. They love that kind of activity. But talking about the economic impact again, because it is enormous. I mean, Busch Gardens at one time was the only theme park in the whole state. I guess after Cypress Gardens, that was the first.
Right.
And then Busch Gardens came along, and I think, what was it, 58?
59.
59, same year as the Edsel, because we did a big promotion with Edsel. I think it was on the 35th anniversary you guys bought an Edsel and we went out and gave it away. Spent all day giving that thing away.
Wow.
But
You had a show in 1959?
no, this was the 35th anniversary.
Oh, okay, I was just checking.
And don't make me add years here. Somebody tell me what year that would be.
Old.
I can't even, maybe it's a 25th anniversary. It was in the 1970s, so it would have been, well, I've forgotten when it was. But just the way this has grown, and again, the blend that y'all have brought together with the African theme of the, lowland gorillas.
The industry
and
has
animals
grown
and
a lot.
development
There was no
and
Universal Studios back then. So Universal Studios made a big investment in Central Florida. Obviously, Disney's made a big investment. And our sister park, SeaWorld, has added 2 parks. There's Aquatic and Discovery Cove now, where you can swim with the dolphins. So we have 5 parks now in Central Florida, and really gives us a great advantage over the competition. But at the end of the day, all ships rise with the tide, and we all bring a lot of tourists into the marketplace. And
Yeah.
we do a very good job of bringing tourists into the Tampa Bay region. And we bring tourists out of Orlando as well to come to our
Do
parks
you guys
here.
do much cross-marketing with the aquarium or the zoo or any of the other?
Mayor, that's a good question. I've talked to Craig Pugh at the zoo and Tom Stork at the aquarium about that, and we'd like to do more because we should do that. I mean, there's great attractions in this city, and as you know well, and we need to partner.
We own most of them.
That's
Oh, yeah.
and we can partner
good or
with them
bad,
much
you
better
own
than
them.
we have in the past.
You want a trolley?
Yeah, I'll take anything you got.
I got a trolley for you.
Hey, they're building one over in New Orleans, getting ready for Super Bowl again.
Yeah. That one works.
Maybe we can trade ours for a light rail or
Yeah.
something like that. But what is the economic impact? Do you have a handle on it? Like we tend to say the port is around $6 billion or something like that, and MacDill is $2 or $3 billion, $5 billion, whatever. Yeah. And do you have a handle on any
You know what?
kind of...
We need to update that for this year because we're working on our plans for the next year. But it's a significant number, obviously, for not only Busch Gardens but for Adventure Island, as we bring more than half of our visitation comes from outside of our area here. So the economic impact is huge.
Oh yeah, and
A lot of hotel rooms.
Yeah, the
hotel
hotel
rooms.
rooms and everything, and then of course the ripple effect because you hire so many people, and then they go out and they spend in the economy,
That's
and
right.
people coming down here because I'm sure if you go among a lot of the employees, they're from elsewhere, from somewhere else, and a lot of them end up saying, "Hey, this is a pretty great place to live. I want to
That's
make my
right.
home here as well."
And we partnered with our neighbor USF. We've just offered all the students over there, 47,000 students at USF now. So we're working very closely with President Ginshaft and her team over there to partner with USF in a much more meaningful way. So
That's great.
it's going to work well for us, I think, in the future.
What do you see as next? I mean, this obviously is something brand new, very seasonal, and I know we talked to Mark Rose, and he's talking about already you guys are planning on the
Isn't
next
Mark great?
ride or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Can't talk about that.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
you
we
know,
don't want to talk about that. I forgot.
Jack, our events are so important to us. Bands, Brew, and Barbecue in the springtime. We have our music series as well, and then Viva La Musica for the Hispanic community after that. And then we follow with our summer nights during the summertime where we stay open late and have fireworks. Then we have Howl-O-Scream in the fall, and
that's
now
terrific.
Christmastown in the season. So we're really trying to fill the season up with events. But at the end of the day, major, big new attractions are what really makes us successful. And clearly, we want to create a destination here. And we've talked a lot about hotels and creating a destination with room nights here. So we'll continue to work to grow this facility as big as we can make it and as successful as we can make it.
Well, Jimmy, that's great. We appreciate you. And I keep waiting to get whacked with a snowball.
Me
here.
too.
I'm
I
watching
keep
you.
looking over my
I
shoulder.
am watching you, brother.
I think we're okay giving this fist. I don't know. Maybe you can do it.
But we appreciate you being with us. Keep up the good work here. We love this place. My kids love it. My son is here. It's a wonderful addition to the Tampa economy, and we want you guys to grow and prosper. And one of these days, we'll
Absolutely.
get him on a roller coaster.
I don't think so.
Get him on the one that drops him like
Oh
all the way
yeah,
down.
I've been watching that thing.
Are we
No
riding
way,
Secret
I'll
now?
never get on that thing.
No, we got to go
Brother.
back to the office, and
This is our office, so we'll go ride Secret now.
yeah, you guys go right.
What a place to have an office. Huh?
This is great. Well,
Thank
thanks,
you
Jim.
very much.
Appreciate it.
I
Yep.
really enjoyed you guys coming
Hey,
out
thank you,
tonight.
neighbor.
Absolutely.
We will be right back. Stay with us. We're back after a great day at Busch Gardens. Now we got to go back to the office. I don't know where he goes. I think he goes home and takes a nap.
Take a nap.
But Jack, this was a great day. This was fun.
It was very nostalgic for me after all those years doing the show and everything, because I don't get out here often enough. You know, once or twice a year.
Now, so you don't get to come out.
I can't take him to Busch Gardens anymore. I think he comes out on his own.
Yeah, he does.
He's bringing somebody. I don't know.
Not you.
Not me, for sure.
Much better looking than you.
I hope so. But no, this place is so great, and the way it's grown immeasurably since, well, again, doing the show up through the 1990s and into 98, I think it was, but the way they have blended the old and the new together, the animal things have gotten so much better than they were back in the old days, and then, of course, all of the new features here, it's just unbelievable. Like our town is growing.
Like our town. A lot of good stuff going on.
I know you're already focusing on, I guess we'll call it the West Bank, like over in Paris. They got the West Bank
like
and the
East
East Bank. Will be the West Bank. But so many great things are happening though with downtown now, and now that the economy is beginning to improve, people talking about doing more things. I love the fact that they're talking about that boutique hotel on Kennedy at Ashley, and that'll be a great thing. What a great place that'd be to stay, to be overlooking the river.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jack. We've got over $300 million in projects coming out of the ground. I mean, I just broke ground on another 300 or 400 apartment unit complex in North Hyde Park.
Oh, the NoHo.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's at the corner of Howard and Swan, a project. They cleared that lot, that site. There'll be another 400 units that will go in there with retail on the ground floor on Howard Avenue.
And that's been stalled for so long.
It has been, yeah,
when they
about
had the
7
old,
or 8 years,
bar and Tampa Digital and all those people.
Absolutely, yeah, Heighton Associates. So yeah, things have come alive. You know, we're working on the West Bank. We're in the midst of wrapping up our Envision project, which is looking at the master plan for downtown, the west side of the river. When we're done, I want that river to be the center of our downtown, not the western edge.
And that makes so much sense. It's a beautiful river.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
It's fantastic all the way up, as a matter of fact, through the neighborhoods and everything else. But down there at the mouth of it, it just makes all the sense in the world to focus on that thing.
And you've got UT, which is a huge economic engine. We were there last month.
Yeah.
They're growing by leaps and bounds. You've got a lot of young professionals that want to live in the downtown core. You know, you've got the bridges that are lit up. You've got the parks that are coming alive.
Boy, that looks great at night, too. Anybody that hasn't just driven downtown, drive downtown some evening and just check out the bridges and go across them. What the heck?
Yeah, downtown's come alive, and I'm excited about it, and I think the community is too.
And I think they're getting ready to move out there just to the east of Camels in that large area there. I know the developer there is now thinking, I think that things are beginning to look better.
Yeah, it's the Trammell Crow Company. They've got about a 400,000 square foot building that's planned for that site.
Yeah.
They've got to get some pre-leases because the banks aren't financing anything without 50% pre-leased. So it looks good. I mean, there's a lot of energy. There's a vibe about downtown now that hasn't existed in a long time. And, you know, I couldn't be more excited. The city's rolling. We're coming out of this recession. And, you know, it's going to be a good couple of years.
I know the one thing we're lacking in looking at every other metropolitan area of our size and larger, and that is the transit, the light rail, which has been so popular now. And of course, we tried it with the county and it didn't work, although it would have passed if it had just been in the city, because the city realizes we need it from, say, the airport downtown and maybe up to USF or that area. But you've got to fight the legislature on that, right?
I do. I have to get the legislature to give the cities the ability to have the referendum on their own within the city limits.
Yeah.
It's very difficult if we have to have a countywide referendum because folks in East Hillsborough County may not see the benefit of having rail.
All right.
It probably won't get to them for a while. They're not going to ride it very often, and they don't know the impact of it. But for those of us who live in the city, particularly in the dense urban core, it can be transformative.
Oh, definitely so.
So we're going to push a bill. Me and a number of the other big city mayors around the state.
That's a good thing. You got Foster and Dyer and all these other guys.
It's
that are working with you on
nonpartisan.
it.
Democrats, Republicans. We just want them to give us the ability to self-govern, to ask our citizens what future they want. We're not asking the legislature to raise taxes. We're asking them to give us the ability to ask our citizens what they want to do.
What they want, and that makes all the sense in
you
the
would
world.
Think.
Yeah,
you would think. Yeah.
Pure democracy in action
you
is the way it works.
We will see you next month. This has been a great experience. Jack and I may get in a snowball fight in a little bit. Come on down to Busch Gardens for Christmas Town, Jack.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome.
I'll be here with my kids. If we don't see you between now and then, have a great holiday. and be safe, and we'll see you next year.